teachers, we want to show you how you can use a Google form to get feedback for yourself. This might even be something you give to your students, or maybe it's something you're going to give to your parents. I think the most important thing to have in there is the person's email address. Sometimes issues pop up and you want to be able to respond or get back to them, especially if it's a student and you want to see if you can check in or conference with them via online websites or something like that to see what's going on and see how you can help. So of course, when we're making our reflection, we're going to have our student's name, or we're going to ask our parents for their name too. This is an example, how do you feel your e-learning went today? And I have 3 different answers here. I can set up what we call branching in Google Forms to have it go to a certain response. So you see here, here's my question, and I am going to add a branching feature. So a branch is just like, it takes you to one area if you answer a certain way, it takes you to another area if you answer another way. So I am actually, when I click on this question, I am going to click down here in the 3 buttons and go to a section based on an answer. So if my students are doing wonderful, yes, we can continue them on. If they're not doing so wonderful, we're going to have them go to section 2. If they're okay, we're going to have them stay in section 1. But if they're really having an awful day, we definitely want to hear more about that. So we're going to go to section 2. So in section 2, we're just going to call this follow-up. And we're going to ask them the question, what can your teacher do to make this better for tomorrow? Question mark, and we're going to let them respond in there. And we're also going to put a question in there. What can you do to make this better for tomorrow? Make this better for tomorrow. Okay. And they're going to respond. Okay, and you see here that we have that. Now we also have that one more question, that extra section. So we're going to make that a separate section. Okay, so you see here I added a 3rd section, and this is just if my student is having a wonderful day, they're going to go to section 3, which says, sounds good. And then here is where you're going to type in, what can you do to make tomorrow even better? Okay, and then that's going to be a paragraph, and then that's going to be it. We can require these questions from our students if we're interested. I think probably the most important one you require is this one. Of course, if they're not interested in following up or responding, we can just leave it as is, and maybe we can just get back to that student, especially because we collected their email address. This is also an important feature that when we're thinking about parents and giving them some options, maybe you want to add a few more things on there, of course. Just how is it going? What are some strategies you've been using at home? What are some things we can do to make it a little simpler for you? Maybe sending out things sooner or following up once a week, something like that, that they can vent out their frustrations, or you will definitely find they're going to celebrate you and all the hard work you're doing. So please consider using a feedback form for yourself, just to give you that validation and be able to respond to your students and families in the best way that you can. Please reach out if you have any questions about how to use Google Forms for our service.